My stepmother keeps braiding my hair in my sleep, and every front feels alive. Story time. I woke up last night choking on my own hair. I was tied around it was tied around my neck tight, almost like it had been braided into a noose. My name is Veronica. I'm 17. I live in a small village near the border of South Africa. My mom died when I was 12. She got sick and never got better. My father remarried 2 years later. Her name is Ma Peace. She says she's from a place deeper in the mountains. I've never heard of it before. She moved into our home with a small bag and a big smile. She said she loved me. I didn't believe her, not at first. She always touched my hair every day. You have strong hair, she would say, rubbing her fingers through it. It grows thick like vines. At first, I didn't think much of it. In our culture, hair is important. Women braid it to show care, power, and even love. But my piece touch started to feel wrong, cold, like her fingers weren't hers. Then the dream started. Every night, I'd see her standing over me, her eyes wide open, her lips moving, whispering words I couldn't understand. Her hands would move in and out of my hair, fast like spiders. I would wake up sweating, heart pounding, and my hair always braided. Not normal braids. They were tight and strange, patterns that twisted and knotted like ropes. Some nights were some nights they were shaped like eyes, other nights like mouths. I started sleeping with my head wrapped, but the braids would still be there in the morning. One night I locked my door. I even put my chair in front of it. But in the morning the chair was moved and my hair was braided again. I told my father. He just laughed. She's just showing she cares. He said, your mother used to braid your hair to remember, but these weren't like my mother's braids. My mother sang while she braided. Her touch was warm. My piece's touch burned. And the more she braided, the heavier my head felt. Like my hair was pulling me down. Last week, I found something in my braid, a small feather, black like a crow's, twisted deep inside. When I pulled it out, the braid unraveled by itself, like I didn't want to, like I didn't want to let go. I took the feather to Gogo Tandi, the older healer in our village. She looked at it and went pale. This is not good, she said. This is a kinga, meaning trouble. She told me about Okuhula, a witch's a way witches put spells in hair to control you. It's old magic, very old. She said, if the braids aren't broken, they become part of you. You start losing yourself. I asked her what to do. She gave me a red string and said to tie it around my hair at night. It will protect me, she said, but only if her father believes it too. I showed it to him that night. He looked tired, quiet. He took the string, nodded, and tied it around my hair with his own hands. That night was the first night I slept without a bad dream. But Ma Peace didn't speak to me the next morning. She just stared. She just stared. Her smile was gone. Her eyes were dark and very cold. 3 nights ago, she disappeared. No one knows where she went. My father says she left in the night, but I found something behind her bedroom door. A small bundle of my hair, still braided, wrapped in leaves, and in the middle, a single black feather. I bent it. Now my hair grows slower. I still sleep with a red string, and sometimes when the wind is strong, I hear her voice outside the window, whispering. Hmm, it's scary. Anyways, I really don't know much about the spiritual world, but I guess whatever she did really helped her. Well, I'll see you guys in my next video. Like and comment on this video and share with your friends. Until then, I'll see you in my next video. Love you. Bye. Be a good one. I had introduced Paul to my husband right from when he was out of the country. Paul was not just a friend, but a very close one that turned to family. We had met when I was working as a sales officer at Obete Main Market. I had a warehouse there where I sold all my goods to be supplied. In that line, I had lively gist partners and funny people who also sold different products. It was just a small warehouse. I only went there when I wanted to rest a little or pick up a product for supply. We weren't many, about 10 of us who were really close. The love, jealousy, and different attitudes made it a lively and fun place to be. Starting from Oga Ete, so we called him, who sold children's sweets, chewing gum, and other things. He was very funny, entertaining, and could banter with anyone like a woman. Then there was Oga Chukudi, a very tall man like an Iroko tree. He sold baby diapers and wipes of all kinds. He made so much money, but was a very stingy man himself. Amidst them were other unique people. There I met Paul. He sold baby pampers for his Oga, very humble and mature. His respect and smiling face were what first attracted me. Hmm. Over time, we started talking and became closer than even those who had been there before him. He saw me as an elder sister and respected me deeply. At the end of every month, he would give me his salary to keep for him. I guided him very well. Hmm. While my husband was away, I stayed in my father's house because I couldn't stay all alone in the apartment he rented. Or she meant when her husband was away. Because of how Paul because of how close Paul and I were, he followed me home after work. We closed almost at the same time. He would spend some time with my family, watch movies with my brothers and sisters, and we would all joke around together. He was smart and often helped me with sales calculations in my room or in the sitting room. Sometimes we watched movies together on my laptop before he went back to his family. He related well with my family, and I did the same with his. I often visited his home, bought things for his sisters, and gave gifts to his mom. They honored me so much for our friendship. While all this was happening, I explained everything to my husband. I told him Paul was just a friend who saw me as an elder sister. At first, he was jealous until the day he spoke with Paul and realized how humble he was and that his fears were unnecessary. When my husband was about to return, I moved into the apartment he had rented for us. I stayed with my sister Choma, my best friend, more than a sister to me. She and Paul were cat and rat, but whenever we were all together, no one would believe we weren't siblings. Paul was gifted. He was an artist. Whenever one of us celebrated a birthday, he would draw us and frame it. And whenever it was his birthday, we celebrated him like family. But one day, something happened. My husband told me his late brother's wife and her kids wanted to visit. I agreed. I knew her well and we had a good relationship. When she came with her kids, I welcomed them. I often left the house for her while I went to work. My sister was busy as well. Sometimes, when I returned, I came with Paul. I explained to her that Paul was a family friend now. She nodded and even admired our friendship, or so I thought. But deep down, she had other motives or thoughts. A few weeks later, my husband returned. Paul wanted to come and greet him, but I told him to wait a few days to give my husband space. Even then, my husband asked about Paul, and I told him he was fine. The next day, while I was at work, my husband was at home with his late brother's wife and her kids. That was when she began planting seeds of doubt. She told him a man often visited me and suspected we were intimate. She went further, questioning why he bought me gifts, even did birthday frames with him all along while he was away. Eh. But my husband already knew about Paul. He trusted me. He had even spoken with Paul on video calls and sent him money for errands. After listening to her lies, my husband got angry. He told her to pack out before she ruined his marriage. Wow, that's a very good husband, or more. That evening, I returned with Paul to greet him. They greeted each other warmly as family, but I noticed bags packed already. The next morning, she left with her kids. My husband gave her money, but family told her she almost ruined his marriage. When I asked about what was going on, he calmly explained everything to me. I was deeply touched that my husband trusted me and stood his ground. Since then, Paul has continued to be part of our family. My husband and Paul now relate very well, and my husband loves me even more dearly. Oh wow. Well, this woman has a very lucky, like she's very lucky. This is a very good match she has matched. Anyway, what do you guys think about this? Do you think she and then this poor guy are just friends or there's more to it? Well, please leave your opinions down in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. So I recently moved into a neighborhood with my lovely wife and kids. A little girl around 8 caught my attention. She'd often play with my kids. I'm very selective about their friendships, so I observed the girl and noticed bruises on her left shoulder. I asked where she lived. She pointed to the apartment beside ours. Then I asked about the bruises. She said her mom punished her. Those bruises seemed excessive. I wondered what kind of mom would do that to her child. This little girl would eat at my house as if she hadn't eaten in days. At first, I thought kids just love food, but this was different. This pattern continued. She'd come over hungry with new bruises each time. My wife and I decided to talk to her mom. I sent my wife over, but this woman was hostile. She didn't even let my wife sit down. As soon as my wife mentioned the girl's bruises and visits our home, the woman sent her away, telling her to mind her own business. I was waiting to talk to the father, but he was rarely around. He traveled frequently for work. Then one day, both couples visited us. We were surprised when the husband became furious. Without even greeting us, he told us to mind our business. He said he didn't ask for anyone's help with his daughter or advice on parenting. Then he left in anger. From that day on, my wife and I decided to mind our business. I even regretted ever suggesting we intervene. Even one neighbor who lived there longer than us approached us. She explained that the girl's mom had left the father because of his current wife. The father had married again, forcing the girl's mom to leave. He even forbade her from taking their daughter or working. Wow. Despite a court case, custody was awarded to him due to his wealth. The neighbor further advised us to mind our business, sharing that others had noticed the girl's mistreatment but feared the stepmom's fury and the father's arrogance. We realized our attempts to help might have made things even worse for the little girl. The girl stopped visiting our home. We believe the stepmom had scolded her and forbidden her from coming over. At night, we'd often hear the girl crying, "Mommy, please," at ungodly hours, but we were helpless. Then everything went silent. No more visits, no more cries at night. The wife would come and go, but the girl was nowhere to be seen. We noticed the husband had traveled again. My wife had a terrible nightmare about the girl, but we dismissed it as just a dream. 2 days later, we involved a family member who works in the law enforcement. We shared everything and urged him to search the house with his teams. Our instincts screamed something was wrong. He obtained a search warrant. The house was searched. Our most fears were confirmed. Imelda was locked in a room and starving. She hadn't eaten nor drunk in days. She seemed forgotten. She was rushed to the hospital that same day. She was in a coma, but sadly gave up the next morning. Please, let's prioritize our children's safety and well being. If you're considering a relationship with someone who has a child, make sure you're prepared to love and care for that child as your own. If not, it's best to let someone else who can provide a loving environment to be with them. Let's work together to keep our children safe and loved. It's been a while, but my wife and I consumed by guilt. Our conscience isn't letting us rest. We can't stop blaming ourselves. Just maybe if we had acted faster, the little girl will still be here today. My goodness, this is sad. Why are stepmothers like this? Oh goodness. Well, please, I don't know if anybody has been or experienced such thing before. I haven't, but it's really sad. Please, you guys should be safe out there. Okay, keep watch for these little girls. I'm sure a lot of them are going through this, and but there's no one to help. All right, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Have a I returned home earlier than usual that Sunday. The house was too quiet, but I could hear faint whispers coming from the bedroom. At first, I thought my husband was on the phone until I pushed the door open. There she was, a strange woman sitting comfortably on my bed, cradling a baby against her chest. My breath caught. The child was definitely not mine. My husband sprang up like he had seen a ghost, fumbling for words, blocking my way as though his body could hide the truth. "Who is she?" I demanded, my voice shaking. The woman didn't flinch. She smiled faintly and said, "Ask your husband if he'll finally tell you the truth." My heart raced. He stammered, she's a relative, just helping her out." I laughed bitterly. "A relative? Nursing a baby on my bed?" Then she looked at me with fire in her eyes. "No need to pretend anymore. I'm his first wife. This child is ours. You are the intruder here." The room spun. My ears burst. I turned to him, desperate for denial, but he bowed his head in silence. I screamed at him, tears blinding my sight. "After everything I've sacrificed for you, after I fed you, paid rent, built this home with you, this is what you repay me with?" That night, I couldn't sleep. Every laugh from that woman Every cry from that baby felt like daggers in my chest. The next morning, I gathered his family. To my shock, they knew nothing of her. No marriage, no introduction, nothing at all. Kenneth, he confessed, she was never a wife. She was his mistress, and the child was his. At that moment, something in me hardened. My tears dried, my voice grew. I faced him and said, since you brought her into my house, both of you can have it, but you will never have me again. And with steady steps, I walked away, leaving him to the mess he created, while I carried my dignity with me like a crown. I wish I sacked him and his mistress from the house. But anyway, what do you guys think about this story? Please drop your opinions in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you in my next video. Love you. Bye. Now I understand why it's never good to help a single mom no matter what. Story time. You guys grab your popcorn for this one. The lady you see is my wife. I'm not posting her, by the way. I met her 4 years ago when I traveled for business to another town, where I met her selling bread on the streets while carrying a child of about 2 years old. I saw her on that particular spot, selling bread for 2 months, and would usually buy bread from her just to patronize her because I love hardworking women. When I finally spoke to her, her story was that her baby daddy had abandoned her with the pregnancy and traveled to Canada. The guy's family didn't even want to see her, neither were they interested in the child. She's an orphan who lives with the family. I was touched and decided to help this lady. Even the house she was living in with her grandma wasn't a good environment, so I decided to rent a comfortable apartment for her and the baby, stocked it up with foodstuffs, and provided every necessity she needed to feel comfortable. I did all this without even asking her out or wanting anything from her in return. I actually liked her and wanted her as mine, but I decided to help her first. Later, I asked her out. She accepted. We dated for about 4 months when she requested that she intended to further her education and pleaded if I could sponsor her to a professional school, which wasn't a problem with me at all. I'm a very successful man, so money wouldn't be a problem trying to help someone that I love. When I was done with business, I went back to Lagos, where I live, though she always insisted on visiting me. I told her not to worry, but rather concentrate on her education, and she'd come to my place at the right time. I actually realized I was in love with her. I didn't just want her as a girlfriend, I wanted her as a wife. I sponsored this girl, paying every single time for her needs. And before you know it, after 3 years, she got a registered nursing certificate. A month after her graduation, I immediately proposed to her, and with the help of her mom and uncles, I did her traditional wedding, which went successful. Of course, I later opened up to her that I wanted her as a second wife, and I had a wife and kids at home, but I was scared she refused to marry me. She was even 2 months pregnant for me at the same time, but to my shock, she got so offended that she decided to terminate it without my knowledge and immediately left the house I rented for her and went to live with a friend of hers. I'm really shocked at this till this moment. I never knew helping someone would lead to betrayal, no matter what. For these past 4 years, I've genuinely loved and helped this woman build herself, giving her a good life and even built for her for her a career to benefit financially from. But she has decided to forget the help I rendered to her in the past in a second. I don't see how me being married should be much of a problem, considering what I've done for her in the past. My marriage with my first wife is exactly 9 years old. We have 3 kids, two boys and a girl. But my wife stopped giving birth due to complications she had with the last child through a C-section for the third time. The doctor warned her not to have another kid because it might risk her life and that of the child. So all these years, I've genuinely helped this lady and also preparing her as my wife, but she chose to betray me simply because I mentioned that I was married. I'm an Igbo man, and it's very okay taking another wife according to my tradition and culture, which I've explained to her countlessly, not to worry. But instead, she insists of not continuing with the marriage, saying she didn't plan to be a second wife. All the help I've rendered to her seems to mean nothing. Instead, she threatens to refund the dowry I pay on her. Well, I'm here to make this post that I'm married to this woman and let her not lie to any fellow man out there that she's single. This is exactly 2 months that we've been married. She's my wife and she will always be. Please be warned. This woman is not single. I've paid every dime on her head in full as our tradition and custom demands. I'm not posting this one because I don't think she has done anything wrong. I mean, did you let her know from the beginning that you were married and you were helping her because you wanted to marry her? No, she accepted without knowing, you were married, like married for 9 years. Hey, it's the audacity for me. Anyway, what do you guys think about this story? Please drop your. I know people have a lot to say. Please drop your opinions in the comment section. Why? I'll see you in my next video. Until then, bye. Should I marry her or walk away forever? Marriage is supposed to be the happiest day in a man's life. But what if the night before turns into the darkest memory you will never forget? My name is Chike, and this is my painful story. For months, I had been preparing for my wedding with Nancy, the woman I thought God specially created for me. I believed she was my peace, my joy, and my forever. I trusted her with my life. When I brought her home for introduction, I noticed something strange. The way my younger brother kept looking at her and the way she avoided his eyes, it gave me a deep suspicion. Something wasn't right. But I killed my thoughts because I told myself, Chike, stop overthinking. This is your woman, and your brother has no reason to betray you. Little did I know I was only lying to myself. I couldn't sleep. The house was filled with joy. My family was around and everyone was busy making preparations. But around midnight, I heard whispers and soft laughter coming from the bathroom. At first, I thought it was a dream, but then the laughter turned into morning sounds that pierced my heart like a knife. I stood up, my body shaking, and I followed the sound. The bathroom door was locked. My heart started racing. Who could be inside? I banged the door. No answer. I forced it open, and what my eyes saw that night, I wish I could erase it forever. There was my bride to be, Lacey. There was my own brother with her, both of them unclothed, on the same bed, touching and whispering to each other like two lovers lost in passion. My knees went weak. My head became heavy. I thought I was going to die on the spot. What is this? I screamed, my voice shaking. They froze, fear written all over their faces. Lacey tried to cover herself with a towel. My brother fell to the ground, begging, Brother, please forgive me. It was a mistake. Please don't tell anyone. A mistake? Sleeping with my wife to be the night before our wedding was a mistake. I felt like my whole world had ended. Later, I found out the bitter truth. Lacey was my brother's ex. They had dated for years before she met me. My brother claimed he had moved on, but the attraction was still there. And on the night before the wedding, temptation won. Here I am, torn apart. My family begged me not to cancel the wedding. My brother cried and begged for forgiveness, swearing it would never happen again. Lacey too was on her knees, promising she still loved me and that it was a moment of weakness. But how can I trust her again? How can I stand in front of the altar tomorrow and call her my wife, knowing what happened tonight? My heart is bleeding. My soul is broken. I don't know whether to go ahead with the wedding or walk away. If you're in my shoes, would you still marry her because your brother apologized, or would you cancel everything and walk away from the woman I thought was my forever? What would you do if your own brother, your own blood brother, betrayed you with your bride? Would you still marry her or cancel the wedding? Can betrayal ever be forgiven? My goodness, this is really sad. Well, I have no advice. I'll leave it to you people in the comment section. What should he do? Should he still go ahead with the marriage or should he cancel it? I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. My husband has always been the type that suspects everything that I do. Whenever my phone rings and I pick up, the next thing I hear is, Babe, who did you speak with? What did you people talk about? Even if it is just my female friend, he still wants to know the entire conversation, word for word. At first, I used to laugh it off. Sometimes he would joke about it in a playful way, but I knew deep down that he was really serious. If I wore a new dress or made a new hairstyle, he would smile and say, Babe, are you sure it's only the money I'm giving you that you are spending? I pretend I pretended to smile, but inside I was not comfortable at all. Midnight, I woke up to find him scrolling through my phone quietly, thinking I was asleep. He would check my chats, my call logs, everything. I never confronted him about it. I just pretended not to notice. But over time, it stopped being jokes. He became very direct, very bold with his accusations. If I shaved, he would get upset and say, I did it because I was planning to meet another man. Sometimes he would refuse to even touch me until it grew back. Are you serious? Honestly, I've been tired. His constant suspicion suffocates me. I've told myself many times, why can't he just trust me? Why can't he see that I am his wife? And I've never given him any reason to doubt me. One morning, I was relaxing and scrolling through my phone after my husband had traveled for his usual business trip. A call came in. Hello, sweetheart. How are you doing? I said softly. Oh, that that fool. He has traveled for his business trip as usual. What else is he good for? And this time he'll be away for a whole month. I smiled. I can't wait to have you over. I really missed you, your touches, your kisses. Honestly, I wish he never comes back. Alright, babe, see you soon. The truth is, my husband doesn't know I've been having an affair with his friend. It's been going on for over 2 years now. So shocked me. I met Amos, his friend, the very day he proposed to me. We made eye contact, and from that moment, something shifted. One thing led to another, and before long, we were seeing each other behind his back. I don't even find my husband attractive anymore. Amos is more handsome, better built, richer, and honestly more fun to be with. In bed, he's more passionate and active. I actually enjoy his company more. Yes, my husband takes good care of me. I don't lack anything, but I'm deeply in love with his friend. I don't care how my husband will feel if he eventually finds out about our affair. Right now, I'm just waiting for the slightest misunderstanding between us. I'll use it as a reason to leave him and go to the man I really want. Hey, actually, didn't expect this plot twist. Anyway, what do you guys think about this story? Well, I'll see you in my next video. Have a good one. Bye. Ciao. Last night was the scariest night of my life. Story time. Please keep me anonymous. A lady came to sleep over. I've known her for almost 5 months now. We started dating after about a month of meeting, and she has actually visited me about 5 times already. By yesterday, we agreed that she slept over because she wouldn't go anywhere. That is today, the following day. As usual, we had sex. She's my girlfriend, so of course, you know the drill. We ate, and while watching a movie, we both slept off. I woke up around 2:19 a.m. to put my laptop off and go to bed. Then it dawned on me, what if this lady doesn't wake up tomorrow? I was just having random thoughts because I'm only 26, and this is the first time I've had a room of my own. I rented around February this year, and last night is equally the first time a woman slept over. While these thoughts ran through my mind, I decided to wake this girl up just to see if she's still okay. I wasn't going to ask her anything. I was just going to say she should sleep well. When I turned on the light, she had opened her mouth wide and her eyes weren't closed well enough and saliva was dripping. It looked so scary, so I fearfully shouted her name, but she wouldn't even wake up. I looked at her stomach and it was like she wasn't breathing. Sorry. I shook her and shouted her name about 3 times, but she was silent. Just when I wanted to scream louder, she opened her eyes and looked at me some way. I had tears in my eyes already. I woke her up and asked her to sleep. Well, I couldn't sleep again, so I packed her things and woke her up to leave around 5 a.m. I don't know, but this has made me decided not to ever make another woman sleep in my place again. I really got scared. What would I have done? Maybe because it's my first time, but I don't think it's healthy. Hope I'm not overthinking this. I don't know if this is fearful, but this is actually funny. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. What opinion do you have on this? I'll see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.